Levarme la moustache en la capucha. Siento pasanilo, mira tacatiki puletica. Siento pasanilo, mira tacatiki puletica. Siento pasanilo, mira tacatiki puletica. Siento pasanilo, mira tacatiki tacatiki. Siento pasanilo, mira tacatiki puletica. Siento pasanilo, mira tacatiki puletica. Siento pasanilo, mira tacatiki puletica. Sani levarme la moustache en la capucha.
What's going on? This is your man John Fortune, your host of the Frustrated Fan Sports Show, and today I'm going to be talking about the excitement, the enjoyment that Washington football team's football is back. That is like the craziest thing to say. Washington football team football. Ah, man, that's why I can't wait for them to change the name. But I'm not going to even focus on that. Right now, this show is about the keys the keys to the game that is going to give us success against the Los Angeles Chargers this upcoming Sunday, so we can be the ones on the side of victory versus what the Cowboys were, the losers. So other than that, let's get right into the keys that's going to actually win us the game. Key number one, test the offensive line's injuries and test Austin Eckler's injury. I personally feel that our defensive line is far better than Los Angeles Chargers offensive line. So with that being said, if Jack Del Rio runs a 5-man line, I think we can actually win and beat the offensive line of the Los Angeles Chargers. I personally think that when it comes down to it, hat on hat, there is no way that the Los Angeles Chargers offensive line, especially when 3 of their 5 starters have been injured the whole offseason and in the training camp, the fact that those guys have been going through that the whole time, I feel that our defensive line has the leg up. Now, I don't know if Jack Del Rio may want to do that, but I feel that's the best strategy to use in regards to going up against that offensive line. We have to make sure that we take advantage of those injuries and the fact that our guys are actually better than their guys. Another thing, along with basically taking care of business on the defensive line, they can also sit up there and force Austin Eckler to be nothing more than a blocker. Because at the end of the day, they're not going to want to get Justin Herbert injured. They're not going to want to get Justin Herbert out of the game at all. And with that being said, our defensive line has, without a doubt, the best chance to win when it comes to going up against the Chargers offensive line. Our defensive line, by all standards, is possibly the first or second best in the entirety of the NFL. And because of that, that is key number one to beating the Los Angeles Chargers. Number 2, air the ball out to keep Derwin James out of the box. Derwin James is one of the safeties in the NFL that can have a massive impact on the game. And if this guy has any impact in this game, it's going to be basically trying to be in the box and stopping the run. We're going to have to get him focused on the pass. If we don't get Derwin James focused on the pass, we're going to have a nightmare of a day dealing with him, because he is somebody that will come up into the box and make a massive amount of plays. And because he makes so many plays, we have to find a way to get him out of the game and out of the box. If he's in the box, we're going to have a problem. If he's not in the box, we have a hell of a chance to actually come in, win, and beat that defense. Because again, it's not like I'm saying they don't have a very solid defense. They do. But at the end of the day, we can possibly beat them. Now, I will preference this with saying this, and this goes out to all you Ryan Fitzpatrick fans. If by any chance, Ryan Fitzpatrick is not careful with where he's throwing the ball, we're going to be in trouble. Because again, we're not facing any secondary. We're facing a very solid secondary. especially with, even though Chris Harris is long in the tooth, he's still an effective cornerback. The same thing applies to the guy who plays opposite of him. His name is missing me right now, but the guy is big and he's a freak. So, I mean, you're talking about we can have massive problems. In fact, the guy that's playing opposite of Chris Harris, he's actually taller than Terry McLaurin. So you're talking about, you know, if anything, he'll probably be defending. He's either going to be defending Terry McLaurin or he's going to be defending Cam Sims. Either way, he's a big, massive guy, and he's not one to be played with. So again, like I said, we do have to air the ball out, but with airing it out, it's all just to keep Derwin James out of the box. And because we're keeping him out of the box, that leads me to my next key in this game, and that's key number 3. Use the play action to take advantage of their linebackers. Now, Kenneth Murray will eventually become one of the best linebackers in the league. I mean, coming out of college, the guy just looked the part. He seemed the part and everything. He's been hurt young. He's been hurt when he first came into the league, but I think that he's now on the mend. But he's still not there yet. Not only that, the guy playing opposite of him, Dre Tranquill, or however you say his name, he's not really experienced at all when it comes to the NFL. So I think that we can actually take massive advantages of their linebacking core. We have to watch it on our end. But again, we're talking about them. If we can air the ball out and then use play action pass to basically free up Logan Thomas and Antonio Gibson and J.D. McKissick and even possibly Jared Patterson, that in the middle of the field, we may have a huge field day with destroying the interior of their defense, because their linebackers, even though Kenneth Murray is a good one, we can take massive advantage of their linebacking core. But all this is contingent on the second key, which is getting Derwin James out of the box. We can't have Derwin James in the box so we can victimize these linebackers. And I think that if we keep doing what we need to do, we can use the play action pass and we can victimize these linebackers all day and all night. Number 4, the Autobots cannot get burned at all. Will Jack, Kendall Fuller, Benjamin St-Juste, and whoever else, Torrey McTyer, whoever else is coming in on that secondary, Cameron Curl, Landon Collins, they cannot get burned by these Decepticons at all. Keenan Allen is a very dangerous guy. The crazy thing about that is that Mike Williams is sneakily dangerous as well. He can actually influence a game also. So we can't take light what Mike Williams can do, especially if y'all sit up there and put Benjamin St-Juste on him, and Benjamin St-Juste happens to be a rookie and he might get burned. But we cannot, for any circumstance, get burned by either Keenan Allen or Mike Williams. If at any point the Autobots fail, we're going to have a terrible time on Cybertron, to be quite honest. So that's number 4. Number 5, we need the special teams to come up big. This game might come down to inches. And it's kind of crazy to say that, but I think that that's going to be very, very key when it comes down to it. We need the special teams to actually make plays when it comes to the kickoffs and the punt returns. We need them to find a way to get our starting field position within pretty much at our 40 or at the 50-yard line. We have to find a way to get that much yardage, because again, I do feel that these two teams are kind of evenly matched, evenly yoked. Our offensive line is better than their offensive line, but I still feel that at the end of the day, they're almost comparable to some extent. But we're going to need we're going to need another level to beat these guys. And I feel that that other level is, in fact, having to sit up there and our special teams making it a point of giving us good starting position when it comes to us getting back on offense and getting back on offense. So we're going to need the best starting position possible from our special teams. Last but not least is number 6. And I'm pretty sure we all can agree on number 6. And that is Dustin. Please, in my James Brown voice, please make these kicks, man. We need Dustin Hopkins to make every single kick in this game. That also includes extra points. We need him to make we need him to be perfect. Because again, we cannot go into a game and mess around and lose by 2 and lose by 3 or lose by 1 because of the fact that Dustin Hopkins has missed a kick. We all need to be James Brown. Please make these kicks. We need Dustin Hopkins to make these kicks. If he doesn't make these kicks, we can mess around and lose this game by 3. We can mess around and lose this game by 1. So Dustin Hopkins, please make these kicks. We need him to make every kick in the game. Those are my 6 keys to beating the Los Angeles Chargers on Sunday. Y'all tell me if y'all agree with me with my keys. Y'all tell me what your keys to victory is. Other than that, this has been your man John Fortune, and this has been the Frustrated Fan Sports Show.